Denoga.
Nailed it!
A teenager must save the world, but not before overcoming her fears and completing her to-do list in Haley's on It.
Am I, like, important?
Of course you're important! Completing the list was the first step toward you saving the world!
Moana's Auli'i Cravalho voices Haley.
She is risk-averse, but ready to tackle now everything on her to-do list, on her bucket list, because she is destined to save the world.
I'm gonna learn to play the glockenspiel. I'm gonna invent a new color.
I get to voice not only just Haley, but also other like kind of smaller characters and put on different voices. So for me, jumping into this booth and jumping into this character has been such a joy.
I'm gonna kiss Denoga.
With Haley and her whole list of things that she needs to do in order to save the world, I think it just is trying to encourage people to follow their dreams, to do something that they haven't done before, to discover something new about themselves.
So that's me, Haley Banks, here to save the world.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Checking TransGuide as we go to commercial break, see how things are looking out there. All clear now, 281 at the San Antonio River near the curve at Josephine Street, approaching I-35. Things looking good. Roads trying to dry out after overnight showers and storms. We'll talk to both Mike and Steven coming up at the top of the hour. Now at 6, a violent weekend in the Alamo City. Investigators working 7 different shootings, one turned deadly, happening inside North Star Mall. We'll tell you who investigators are looking for. Plus,
they're trying to flex their muscles and advance authoritarianism.
New video this morning shows a Chinese warship coming very close to a U.S. military destroyer in the Taiwan Strait. What officials are now revealing about the incident.
we had some storms overnight. We saw some flashes of lightning as we came into work this morning. But as you head into work, it looks like skies are trying to clear. So a few leftover clouds. We'll talk to Mike in a moment.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. Rise and shine. It's Monday, June 5th.
Thank you for starting your morning with us. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. And this morning, maybe watch out for some wet roadways.
Very possible. Mike is here with an update.
Yeah, I mean, this picture doesn't tell the complete story. Obviously, we've got some broken clouds out there, a little bit in the way of clear skies. 410, things are starting to dry out a little bit more. And though we've got these still showers and thunderstorms down here to the southeast of us, and still even a couple of lightning strikes. And this cell is really trying to hold together here, just past through Falls City, heading right in toward Karnes City. No lightning strikes with that as of right now. You can see there's been just a couple of them here and there around the area, but watch out for some decent downpours. You already had some pretty good rain in the overnight hours, and then a little bit further off to the west, right here around Charlotte, we've got this other cell. Once again, couple of lightning strikes. That's pretty much about it. And elsewhere, obviously up to the north, we don't have much of anything in and around town, but then up by Austin, a lot of very heavy rain, and still over here by LaGrange. So we still have a few of these showers around. We'll still keep a couple of them around here and there throughout the morning, primarily down to the southeast, of course. Mid 60s right now, mid to upper 60s around the area, still slightly below normal. Do have a whole bunch of mold out there. The updated count's going to be coming out about an hour and a half or so. And throughout the rest of today, again, we still have a couple of these showers, an isolated storm here and there. We will warm up through the upper 70s today at noon, and then 85 high temperatures, still well below normal. We only hit 83 yesterday, by the way, and normal high, is 91. Still a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms, about a 40% chance around here. Rain chances, you can't completely rule them out as we go on in through the rest of the week, although it'll be very, very small, and temperatures are going to start to head the direction I don't know if we really like or not. Details coming up, and a look at a very hot weekend in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Steve, we had a lot of problems earlier. What's the status?
We are in the clear right now, Mike, but still, drivers want to be on the lookout. We can expect to see some of those wet roads out there as the commute does get moving this morning, but 281 at San Pedro is not really a problem spot anymore. But you can see 1604 at Marbach. Traffic is getting busy, and we do have some of those wet roads. We did have some issues out there along I-10 earlier as well, but things are in the clear right now. But we are starting to see a lot more congestion congestion out there in terms of the commute. So just be on the lookout. We did have a few stalls that were reported here on our map. Those have also since cleared out. And what we can see right now is going to be plenty of construction that's going to take place throughout the month of June. So be prepared on that. We have some information coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Right now, not too bad, though. If you're traveling in from Seguin, you're still in the green along I-10 westbound. About a 31-minute commute to the downtown area. 33 minutes along 87 northbound and coming in from Livonia. That's pretty consistent. And 30 minutes for our friends down in Floresville. So things are looking okay. Again, no issues are being reported as of right now, but I'm keeping a close eye on things here in the traffic lab, and I'll have an update on some of those road closures that'll be coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Mark.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, a 3-vehicle crash on the city's west side sends 4 people to the hospital. Happened last night around 10:30 on Petrenko Road, not far from Highway 151 and Hunt Lane. We're told crews had to cut the doors and roof off of one of the vehicles to get the 4 people inside out. They're all taken to University Hospital. Police say the driver of one of the vehicles involved in the crash pulled into a nearby gas station and was detained by police on suspicion of DWI.
And right now, San Antonio police are still looking for 2 people accused of shooting and killing a man while getting a haircut inside North Star Mall. This happened yesterday afternoon around 3, and police tell us that 2 suspects shot and killed a man that Katrina just reported was 33 years old. Now, they are calling it an isolated and targeted shooting. We're told the 2 suspects took off.
This morning, mounting tensions between the U.S. and China.
We have new video after a Chinese warship cut off a U.S. destroyer, nearly colliding with it in the Taiwan Strait.
As ABC's Lindsay Watts explains, it's just the latest aggressive move by a country that U.S. officials has on edge in Washington.
New video this morning shows just how close a Chinese warship came to a U.S. military destroyer in the Taiwan Strait Saturday. The video captured from aboard the USS Chung Hoon, and additional footage of the incident coming from Canadian broadcaster Global News. Estimates are the Chinese ship was just 150 yards from the U.S. destroyer. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin warning China's government.
Do the right things to rein in that kind of conduct, because I think accidents can happen that could cause things to spiral out of control.
China's defense minister is defending its warship, telling the U.S. to, quote, mind your own business, and calling the U.S. and Canadian military presence in the Taiwan Strait a provocation. The U.S. is seeing an alarming increase in confrontations with China. Just last week, a Chinese fighter jet flew within 400 feet of an American spy plane over the South China Sea, forcing the U.S. plane to bounce wildly through turbulence of the fighter jet's wake. U.S. officials criticized the maneuver as unnecessarily aggressive and part of a pattern by China.
They're trying to, flex their muscles and advance authoritarianism. We need to stand strong.
The Republican chair of the U.S. Intelligence Committee calls China's aggression unbelievable, also highlighting that massive Chinese spy balloon that traveled across the U.S. before being shot down. The Biden administration is looking for a diplomatic fix to the souring relations, sending a senior State Department official on a rare visit to Beijing. China's defense minister declined a meeting with Defense Secretary Austin at a security conference in Singapore on Friday, although the two did have a brief discussion at dinner. Austin says more conversations are needed to avoid miscalculations that could lead to crisis. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Now to consumer news, YouTube says it carefully deliberated a change of policy that now allows videos that falsely claim fraud in the 2020 U.S. election. Such videos had been banned since December of that year. YouTube isn't offering any specific reasons for the policy change.
Today is a big day for Apple. The Worldwide Developers Conference starts today. The product launch may include a long-rumored AR/VR headset, which would overlay virtual images on real-world scenes. Also expected software updates to enhance features on iPhones, Apple Watches, and other devices.
Yeah, listen to this. A plan for a free cell phone service may be in the works. Bloomberg is reporting that Amazon's in talk with the top carriers to offer its Prime subscribers cell service at either no extra charge or at the rock-bottom prices of around $10 a month.
Nice. You're on KSAT.com. Check out our KSAT Money Q&A. You'll be able to learn from Cristina Olivares. She is a social media and business coach who helps entrepreneurs find their digital footing. She shares her story and tips on social media marketing. You can watch it right now on our homepage.
Right now, 6:08, 67 degrees.
And coming up later this morning on GMA, good news if you enjoy shopping at thrift stores. You're not going to want to miss the secrets to finding hidden gems. That's on GMA beginning at 7. Plus,
I don't want her to worry about anything. Just do your thing, Mia. Roll down those hills. Play in the dirt. Go eat at your buffet, and I'll take care of the rest.
After the break, a big win for Local Grow following 868 days of chemotherapy treatments.
and looking out there with live cam, looking very nice at 6:08 this morning. Really beautiful after all that rain we had this weekend. We're going to be checking back with Mike and Steven for your roadway work, or not roadway work, your roadway drive. We'll be right back.
6:12, welcome back. Now to an exciting update to a story we've been following for months.
Mia Bettis, a 10-year-old battling leukemia, is officially done with cancer treatments. Mia and her family just got home after she and her friend Haley Atwood, a basketball player with UTSA, won the honor of Teammate of the Year with Team Impact. It's a nonprofit that pairs collegiate athletes with kids with disabilities or severe illness. The award brought them to Boston for a gala to be recognized for their friendship. Mia finished her chemo treatments just before they left.
I don't want her to worry about anything. Just do your thing, Mia. Roll down those hills. Play in the dirt. Go eat at your buffet, and I'll take care of the rest.
Now, Mia will still have to go to the doctor regularly to make sure she stays healthy. We wish her all the best.
And this morning we are learning more about a 13-year-old golf prodigy who could already be on the fast track to superstardom.
As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, Jaden will soon be teeing up later today for a spot at the upcoming U.S. Open in Los Angeles.
Today, this teenager is looking to make history. 13-year-old Jaden Soong teeing off for a chance to play in one of golf's major championships. If he finishes in the top 5, he'll be the youngest ever to compete in the U.S. Open.
It's my favorite sport. I couldn't imagine playing anything else.
The 7th grader teeing off against 89 other players, including former PGA Tour pros and top college players.
I don't have too many expectations, but just to go out there and have fun, just learn from the experience because I'm playing with really good players.
And while Jaden and his dad aren't trying to set any expectations,
my expectations are already exceeded. The fact that he's in the sectionals was literally a dream. I mean, the U.S. Open to me is obviously, it's a great opportunity.
He's already the youngest player to ever get this far, all 5'2" and 115 pounds of him. And this isn't the first time Jaden has made headlines.
Hi, my name is Jaden Soong. I am 8 years old.
From ages 6 to 8, Jaden placed first at the U.S. Kids Worlds in back-to-back years. Now, after having a few years to mature,
Hello.
And with a 280-yard drive on his first practice hole.
I play with a 3 to 5 handicapper, and he's a great golfer, and I've never seen him hit it this far.
He's got the distance.
There's the hole. There's the ball. Yeah, he's okay.
And the accuracy to take center stage at one of golf's biggest events. But when you're in middle school, there are bigger priorities.
I'm missing school for that day, so it's just even better.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
All right, so there's a name and a face to watch, Jaden Soong.
Very interesting. I like what he said about school. Very cute. Time now, 6:14. Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Well, we probably won't see a lot of school buses out there, given the fact a lot of folks are, our kiddos, I should say, already out on summer break, so enjoy it. But we still have a lot of people that have to make the morning commute, so let's get a quick look around town. There's 37 at Houston, and right now 37 at FM 3006. Not a bad shot, but we have been keeping a very close eye on the roadways because a lot of them seem to be wet or damp out there, so just take it easy as the commute does get moving this morning. We did have some issues that have cleared out, and what we're going to look forward to, of course, is plenty of that construction. This is something that's happening overnight here along I-10 in Guadalupe County. Pavement repairs. Be on the lookout because that work does begin tonight around 9 in the evening. Should take us up till tomorrow, Tuesday, June 6th, at least a portion of it. Work should wrap around 5 in the morning, and we'll see a full closure of the westbound main lanes at Santa Clara Road. But as I mentioned earlier, I updated the list of current closures on our website, so why don't you scan that QR code? It takes you directly there. There is a full list of all the closures that are happening throughout the month of June, so just make sure to plan your commute ahead of time. But other than that, TransGuide cameras are showing just some damp roads, but nothing too bad.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Jaden Soong versus, I said Jordan. Jaden. Good luck, Jaden.
Yes. 285-yard drive, and the kid's what,
13?
Wow.
Seventh grade.
7th grade.
It's going to go far in several ways.
Yeah. All right. Take a look at this picture. I was thinking the exact same thing as Oscar captioned here. I saw a plane yesterday when those storms started developing off to the northwest. And this plane was coming around the south side of town. It's like, ooh, he looks like he's kind of cutting that turn a little bit short there, trying to get down pretty quick. Yeah. But that was a sort of an e-ticket ride, if anybody remembers what an e-ticket was way back when at Disney World. But thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And if you are flying today, especially later on this afternoon, may have a bit of a bumpy ride here and there. This morning, not too bad. As you can see, we do have some clearing out there, but we still also have some showers and some storms. First of all, up here around Austin, had a lot of heavy rain, and that prompted a flood advisory earlier this morning. Still getting some of that rain up there, and that's kind of sliding down towards San Marcos. But as you can see down to the southeast, we also still have some of these showers and storms right there around Karnes City. A couple of lightning strikes right going through Kennedy, sliding down to the southeast. And if you're going down 37, you're going to run into just a couple of those. Three Rivers, a few showers as well. And then just one or two of these little spots that just keep popping up around here, and we even, well, maybe a couple little sprinkles closer into town, but most of the rain obviously is down to the southeast. Now, yesterday we only hit 83 degrees. On the hourly readings, it was only 81, so that was in between time, right around 1 o'clock or just before that yesterday afternoon. Then very toasty around Cotulla, 95 with a little more sunshine there. Today, still overall temperatures are going to be way below normal. We'll be at 85 degrees, and that's pretty much the call all around the metropolitan area. Here's what computer models look like. We've got a little bit of a break. We've got some of the showers down to the southeast, a little bit of a break in the action, though, as we go into the late morning hours. Still one or two showers out there. You can't completely discount it. And then, as you can see, sweeping around a big low, which is off to the east of us, we get more of these showers and a couple of these decent downpours, a few thunderstorms mixed in, and that's going to be the situation later on this afternoon, and then also going into the evening hours. And once again, the overall pattern change, we've had nothing really a high sitting on top of us. So we've had these little disturbances around here. That's what has kept us with some rain over the past few days off and on. Then as we go on into the latter portion of the week, notice how the high is starting to build back in, and we get this little bit of a ridge building right in here. And so that means it's going to tend to cut off the rain chances or make it almost nil. And also temperatures will start to go up as that high continues to move in right on top of us, because as that thing sits on top of us, it pushes down in the atmosphere. That tends to compress the atmosphere, and that helps to heat things up. Yeah, it's called summer. Anyway, 87 tomorrow, some morning fog, and then a 20% chance for a shower or two. Again, you can't completely rule out a stray shower here or there the rest of the week, but temperatures will start to creep up to normal readings. Then we get into the mid-90s this weekend. So, yep, it is going to be a pretty darn hot second weekend of June.
Yes, it will be. But we've been spoiled.
And then some of the trends are staying on the hot side in toward next week. So
no.
No.
Well, yes, but
we don't accept it. We don't accept it.
Thank you, Mike. 619, 68 degrees.
And just ahead, a new warning from Yellowstone officials after tourists took an elk calf in their car to the police station. And before we head to break, some big things are coming to SeaWorld this summer, something for the entire family. Here's Priscilla Karaman with a preview.
There are new attractions coming here to SeaWorld San Antonio, and today we're getting a sneak peek of what you can expect this summer. We're here at the construction site for Catapult Falls, the world's first ever launch flume coaster. This new ride will house North America's only vertical lift in a flume coaster and will feature the world's steepest drop in a flume ride. According to SeaWorld, each ride experience is around 5 minutes long. Catapult Falls is scheduled to open later this summer. Whenever it's time for a break from the heat, head inside Seastar Theater for Imagine-Ocean, where Tank, Dorsal, and Bubbles will take you and your family on an underwater adventure.
It's so rare, I think, to be able to sit together as a family and enjoy something that everyone gets something out of. So we wrote the show and created the show as an adventure for everybody. From an emotional place, I hope people take away the idea that everyone contributes something individually to a group, and that we're all worthy and we all should value that part of ourselves, and that friendship is the most powerful thing of all. well. This show, you have to really really communicate and like the people you work with, because you're literally in the dark with them. And it's kind of like the ultimate trust fall. You've heard of like trust falls. It's like the ultimate trust fall, because you're stumbling around in the dark, and if that person's not where you think they're going to be, it could be a problem. So everyone really tends to work together as this beautiful team, and it becomes a dance.
For more information on things to do here in San Antonio, head to ksat.com. Priscilla Karaman, KSAT 12 News.
My husband and I have never been more active.
Shingles doesn't care.
I go to spin classes with my coworkers.
Good for you. Shingles doesn't care. Because no matter how healthy you feel, your risk of shingles sharply increases after age 50. But Shingrix protects. Proven over 90% effective, Shingrix is a vaccine used to prevent shingles in adults 50 years and older. Shingrix does not protect everyone and is not for those with severe allergic reactions to its ingredients or to a previous dose. An increased risk of Guillain-Barré syndrome was observed after getting Shingrix. Fainting can also happen. The most common side effects are pain, redness and swelling at the injection site, muscle pain, tiredness, headache, shivering, fever, and upset stomach. Shingles doesn't care, but Shingrix protects. Shingrix is now $0 for almost everyone. Ask your doctor about Shingrix today.
In this morning's GMA First Look, yet another tourist crossing the line at Yellowstone National Park.
A lot of people have lost a bit of common sense, and they put themselves and the animals in serious danger.
On the heels of images like this, a woman reaching out to pet a bison only to scramble away to safety. And this, a tourist taking a selfie just feet away from another bison. Officials are now sharing a new cautionary tale, investigating tourists who they say this Memorial Day weekend grabbed a baby elk and took it inside their car to the police station.
And if you're getting in the way, not only could you get injured, could the animal get injured or in trouble, but you're actually impeding or hurting their chances for survival.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you how national park officials at Yellowstone and across the country are working to keep visitors and animals safe. With your GMA First Look, I'm Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
And right now on KSAT.com, check out the South Texas Pride podcast. Robert Salcido, the executive director of Pride Center San Antonio, joins our Ivan Adetta to talk about upcoming Icons Brunch and other upcoming events for Pride Center SA. It's all part of episode 1 of the podcast. And if you have any Pride events or story ideas you want to share, you can send them to pride@ksat.com.
Also on our website, there are lots of great places to beat the summer heat here in Texas, from waterfalls to rivers, lakes, and swimming holes. Recent rainfall has certainly helped. On KSAT.com, we have a look at some of the places that are within driving distance of San Antonio. Just look for this story on our homepage.
And time now, 6:26 and 68 degrees for now.
Sun is slowly coming up across the Alamo City metro area right now. Beautiful shot of some clouds off in the distance just beyond the Alamo Dome there at I-37. And there's 37 in Houston Street as Stephen is working his magic over there, switching cameras for us. Can I give me, there we go, one more, just as we speak. Thank you, Stephen. We'll be right back.
It sucks that there's this stain at a good place here in San Antonio that I spend a lot of time out. And like anybody else, nobody likes to live here.
Terrifying moments after a shooting inside North Star Mall. Who investigators are looking for? Plus,
it was very jarring.
We thought it was probably an earthquake.
A sonic boom over the nation's capital area, then a plane crash in Virginia. We're tracking the latest on the investigation.
and let's look out there with live cam. A pretty morning. We've been able to keep temperatures in check because of all the rain over the weekend, but we're going to find out how long that's going to happen very soon.
And good morning to you. Welcome back. 6:30 on your Monday. It's June 5th.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. And Mike, I feel like you've been doing a lot of yard work lately.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just kind of redoing the backyard a little bit there.
Yes.
So, and temperatures have been cooperating. The humidity, that's a different story, but looking forward to this weekend. I may do some work inside because, and you may want to do that yourself because it is going to be a hot weekend. We do have some clear skies out there right now here in town, but we also still have some of these showers and even a few storms down here to the southeast, and just a couple, I mean, you know, you can almost count them on one hand. Right here around Kennedy, a couple of lightning strikes strikes are being detected, and just these few little spots here and there that continue to move down to the southeast. Even though they're very small, brief, heavy downpour is obviously what's going on here and can be expected even throughout the rest of the day. We don't have anything in the metropolitan area, but then up around Austin, there's some pretty good showers and even a couple of heftier downpours. And they've had some heavier downpours in northern Hayes County as well as up in Travis County earlier this morning. So you want to watch out for that if you are sliding up or heading up I-35, I should say. Temperatures, we're in the mid and upper 60s around here. Once again, slightly below normal. We do have a whole lot of mold. Updated count's going to be coming out in about an hour or so. Scattered showers again today, a couple of thunderstorms, mid 80s. Put a 40% chance on it. So again, not everybody's going to be seeing rain today. Tomorrow we'll start off with some fog. Then a stray shower or two is going to be possible. We'll still be in the mid and then leaning toward the upper 80s. Then it starts to heat up. More sunshine and upper 80s, low 90s, but just back up to normal readings by the end of the week. Then we get into the weekend and it's going to be hot around here. Mid 90s. All the details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, what's going on now?
Hey, Mike. Well, this is the shot I was trying to pull up earlier for you guys. 10 at Dominion. What a great view. Check out the east and westbound lanes. They don't look bad at all, but that sunrise looks fantastic from this view at TransGuide. So special shout out to our friends over there who are working to keep a close eye on the roadways, but anytime they catch a pretty shot, they're always happy to send it over. So let's take a look right now at the commute, though, on the map. We've not spotted any issues. I was just updating some of the websites where we get our information from. Not seeing anything reported right now, so that's great. But earlier we saw a number of problems out on the roadway. Problems along 281, a little problem up along I-10 earlier, but again, those have cleared out, but we can expect to see some of those damp roads out there as the commute does get moving. It is morning rush, but remember to take it slow out there. We have a nice shot at 10 at the Dominion. I'll keep a close eye on things, and I'll have an update on further closures coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Guys.
Stephen, thank you. Will it be back to business as usual at North Star Mall today? That's what some people are wondering after shopping took a backseat to a shooting there yesterday afternoon. One man was killed. Katrina Weber is outside the mall with a live report. Katrina, what is the latest on the search for the shooters?
Well, the last we heard from San Antonio police is that they were starting to look at surveillance video from the mall so that they could get a better description of those people. They say they were told that there were 2 shooters involved in this deadly shooting. It seems this also was a bold shooting happening in the middle of the day inside a crowded mall. Police got the call about it around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Shoppers also responded by scattering and running for cover. Initially, police were told this was an active shooter situation. However, they quickly put that rumor to bed, calling this a targeted shooting. They say the gunman walked up to the victim as he was getting his hair cut in a barbershop and purposely took aim only at him. He died from his wounds. I checked with the medical examiner's office within the last hour, and that 33-year-old man still has not been positively identified. Also, again, police are still searching for the shooters. Now, I did check, and I did not find any mention about this shooting on North Star's website or any of its social media pages. So it's still unclear whether they plan to open as usual here later on today. They did shut down the mall after the shooting. Reporting live near North Star Mall, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Now to the sonic boom, startling people in Washington, D.C. and 2 states, and the deadly plane crash connected to all of it. As ABC's Andrew Denbert reports, authorities reached the scene overnight, and now we are learning why the pilot may not have been responding.
This morning, some near the nation's capital are still rattled after a quiet Sunday was interrupted with this.
It was very jarring.
We thought it was probably an earthquake.
A sonic boom, startling residents across the region. This couple in Fairfax, Virginia, was recording a song when the boom causes them to leap out of their seat. The Capitol and White House were both briefly placed on high alert. The sound was caused by 2 D.C. Air National Guard F-16s that were scrambled from Maryland after a Cessna business jet entered restricted airspace over the nation's capital. Around 3 p.m., those F-16s going supersonic to catch up with the Cessna, creating a sonic boom heard in D.C. and surrounding areas. The F-16s intercepting the plane using flares in an attempt to draw the pilot's attention, but were unsuccessful. 10 minutes later, the plane crashing near George Washington National Forest in Virginia with 4 people on board.
When the D.C. Air National Guard F-16s eventually caught up to this aircraft, they looked in the cockpit and they could see that the pilot was slumped over and unconscious.
Aviation experts say hypoxia may have incapacitated the pilot and those on board.
The most likely scenario here is that there was some loss of pressurization, which induced hypoxia. Hypoxia is just the loss of consciousness due to lack of oxygen. You may not even know that it's coming on until you lose consciousness.
As for Sunday's crash, the man who runs the Florida-based company that owns the jet tells the Washington Post his daughter and 2-year-old granddaughter, her nanny, and the pilot were on the flight. He says they were returning home to Long Island, New York, after a visit to his North Carolina home. Flight tracking data shows the plane made it to Long Island but didn't land, instead turning and heading straight to the D.C. area. Those F-16s were scrambled from Joint Base Andrews, where President Biden was playing golf with his brother at around the same time. Overnight, Virginia police say they reached the crash site and found no survivors. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Stock markets around the world getting a boost from the jobs report in the U.S. U.S. economy gaining more jobs than expected, but wage growth is also slowing. The Nikkei in Tokyo this morning rose nearly 2%. Hong Kong's markets added 0.7%.
Oil prices may be on the way up, too. Saudi Arabia now says it will make the biggest cut to its output in years. Next month, they could go down to 9 million barrels of oil a day. That is compared to 10 million it pumped last month.
Shoppers this summer are going to see something they haven't seen in quite a while: sales on eggs. Prices coming back down after being spiked by an outbreak of avian flu. In January, egg prices spiked to about $4 a dozen. Now they're down to about $2 or lower. And some supermarket chains are talking about hefty discounts. Well, back here at home, more than 6.7 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's.
The local association says this year there are an estimated 400,000 Texans living with the disease and more than 1 million family members and friends caring for them.
Leader and Executive Director, San Antonio, South Texas chapters of the Alzheimer's Association joined Leading SA this weekend to talk about Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month in June.
During this month, we actually try to wear something purple to raise awareness about Alzheimer's. Now, Greg Shudo with the local chapter joined us. We talked about a lot. We talked about medical advancements over just the last few years. We talked about local events trying to help out so many families in and around our area. And we also talked about a huge infusion of funds from the Texas legislature working to help in so many different capacities. Here's a bit of our conversation.
This year, with help from our advocates at the association and our partner organizations, the Texas legislature approved $5.5 million in funding for the Alzheimer's disease program in the state of Texas. So a 550% increase, which is a massive, massive accomplishment. And this will go to provide information and resources on care and support options, encourage early detection and diagnosis for people with the disease and their caregivers.
We also talked about the mission of the local organization, big events on the horizon, how you can step up and help out. You can check out the full conversation right now on ksat.com. We have Leading SA every Sunday morning, 8 a.m. So guys, we'll see you next Sunday. Back to you.
Thank you, Max. 639, 68 degrees.
Our College Great Graduate Series continues this morning, and after the break, why one St. Mary's graduate decided to jump right into several organizations. And as graduation season comes to an end, we are looking into great graduates from universities in our city.
This morning we hear from a St. Mary's University grad who didn't let the hardships growing up hold her back from getting her degree.
Tiffany Huertas has her story.
Maria Belen Cervera grew up in Brownsville, but wasn't sure where she would call home when it came to picking a college, until she toured St. Mary's University.
I got here on campus and I felt this sense of belonging.
Once at St. Mary's, Cervera wasted no time getting involved in organizations on campus. She worked in the political science department, the undergraduate mock trial team, was part of the volunteer income tax assistance team, and was also the president's ambassador.
I wouldn't get those opportunities to talk to people on a deeper level without those extracurriculars.
Growing up, things were tough for her family, and she really had to push herself to get to college.
Once you break through, it's a lot easier, and it's a way to show people, hey, you can do it too.
Cervera kept this positive outlook as she went through school, especially when the pandemic hit.
No matter what life throws at you, and no matter how bad it is, there's always a step forward, even if it's a small step. Any little step helps. At the end of the day, you'll be up the staircase.
Now, she will head back home to Brownsville to work with the American Bar Association program called ProBar.
This program helps people seeking asylum. We help them learn their rights and looking at legal advice.
Cervera wants to help those in need get the representation they deserve. And one day, she hopes to make it back to St. Mary's for law school. Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Time check, just about 6:45.
Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Right now, we are in the clear, but we are getting busy. Of course, it is morning rush, so we can expect to see a lot more folks out there on the roadways. But remember, some of the areas have been pretty wet, so we saw our fair share of issues throughout the early morning hours. But a lot of it has cleared out, and what we're going to start to see a little bit more of, a lot more folks. Check out 37 at Pecan Valley. The north and southbound lanes aren't bad at this hour, but we are seeing the commute getting rolling there at Salado Creek. So just be on the lookout, but great shot there at 37 at Loop 1604. We'll talk to Mike in just a minute, but let's talk about what we're seeing here on our map. Plenty of road construction, as you can see, in and around the Alamo City. I mentioned this a little bit earlier. Be prepared if you're traveling along I-10 in Kendall County. We have painting work that's going to begin today. This does take us all the way up until the end of the work week. That's Friday, June 9th. Now, what drivers are going to see out there is a single lane closure on the frontage road that will be in both directions. That's there from State Highway 46 to US 87. So always plan your commute ahead of time. I have not seen any issues out along I-10 up toward Kendall County, but I am keeping a close eye on things and hoping that we can have a really smooth morning commute as folks get the day started. Well, let's get one last look there at TransGuide 37 at Salado Creek. I thought that was a pretty cool shot out there. Not seeing a lot of traffic, but I'm seeing some pretty skies from TransGuide.
Yeah, and it also shows how green everything is right now. Not just the trees, but the grass and the weeds and everything else that Mike's been fighting every now for weekend after weekend.
Not only green, but colorful in this picture, which makes me extremely jealous.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Oh, look at all of those plants and flowers, and right there going up that trellis, as you can see, and some of the roses there. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture. And tell me what your address is or my address, and I'll let you know, and you can come plant that stuff at my house. So.
No problem.
The heck, I can ask, you know. We've got some clouds hanging around here, and then things have cleared out a little bit here in town, obviously, but we still have some of these showers and even a couple of thunderstorms down here to the southeast. Just these little spots that pop up, you know, 1 or 2 lightning strikes associated with it, and that's all. They're kind of trying to pop up and then they sort of fizzle on out, but these will continue to work their way down to the southeast and then further up to the north. Like I said, nothing in and around town right now or the metropolitan area, but we still have some of these decent showers, and you want to watch as these continue to work their way down to the south, heading in toward Canyon Lake, and then maybe even holding together as heading in toward New Braunfels later on in the next couple of hours. But it's going to be wet there on 35. Had a lot of heavy rain up around northern Hayes County and then Travis County earlier this morning, which prompted some flood advisories up there. So computer model today. Somewhat of a break in the action this afternoon, or later this morning, pardon me. And then this afternoon, we are going to continue to see some of these showers popping up around here. A couple of thunderstorms, maybe a heavier downpour or two. And notice how everything's coming in here somewhat from the north. And that's the low, which is centered just off to the east of us, which is continuing to pull these little disturbances on in here. We are going to make it up through the 70s this morning. Still a 20-30% chance for a stray shower here or there. And then those rain chances will pick up somewhat later on this afternoon. And again, could see a heavy downpour. Only a 40% chance. So obviously most of us aren't going to be seeing any rain. Now, here's what the satellite picture is looking like. Of course, we had those showers and thunderstorms that developed late yesterday afternoon. But here is the center of circulation, this low, which is sitting in the eastern portion of the state, and that's what's continuing, like I said, to take these little disturbances, kind of whipping them around on the backside of that thing, throwing them in here, and that's what's giving us the chance for some rain. So that'll be today, and with the extra cloud cover around here, That'll help to hold temperatures down. Some of those showers, 85 for a high, 87 then tomorrow. We'll start off with some fog around here. Normal high right now, 91 degrees. So we're just getting up to normal by the end of the week. A stray shower or two can't be completely ruled out, but very unlikely once we get into the latter half of the week. Then we go into the weekend and we start to get even hotter. We'll make it up into the mid-90s this weekend. With lots of sunshine.
Well, maybe we'll be spoiled later on in June.
Let's hope. Now, the trend through at least the middle of the month is going to stay hotter, or at least some of the forecast Climate Prediction Center. Odds are, being on the warmer side, odds are less than normal rain chances.
Okay, so we've been on the flip side of that for a while now.
Right.
It's time to go the other way.
Yeah. Mother Nature likes to balance things out.
Okay.
Likes to keep us guessing. 6:49, 68 degrees.
And coming up tomorrow on GMSA, there is a such thing as being too positive. Some researchers say yes.
You wear rose-colored glasses for everything. It's gonna be fine. So your friend tells you they lost their job. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. You'll get another one.
It's called toxic positivity. We're going to share some of the signs you need to avoid before falling into this toxic trap. That's tomorrow on GMSA.
I have no words. I have no words.
Wow.
It's rare to meet somebody that's toxically positive, though. But they're out there. Come closer than you think. 6:50, we'll be right back.
In today's Tech Bites, a big day for Apple. The Worldwide Developers Conference starts today. The product launch may include a long-rumored AR/VR headset, which would overlay virtual images on real-world scenes. Also expected, software updates to enhance features on iPhones, Apple Watches, and other devices. Well, YouTube says it carefully deliberated a change of policy that now allows videos that falsely claim fraud in the 2020 U.S. election. Such videos had been banned since December of that year. Now, YouTube isn't offering up any specific reasons for the policy change. Finally, a plan for free cell phone service may be in the works. Bloomberg is reporting that Amazon is in talks with the top carriers to offer its Prime subscribers cell service at either no extra charge or at rock bottom prices of about $10 a month. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Good Monday morning. Coming up here on GMA, we're following the scare in our nation's capital. A sonic boom rattling homes after 6 F-16s intercepted a plane with an unresponsive pilot. We'll have the investigation this morning. And the new details on Joran van der Sloot's extradition. When the prime suspect in Natalie Holloway's 2005 disappearance will be on U.S. soil. We'll have those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
All right, one last look at traffic. There is 1604 at Marbach. These shots are going by pretty quickly, but check out 37 FM 3006. Fantastic views from TransGuide, but we've not spotted any issues, at least at this moment. I've been keeping a close eye on the roadways. I've noticed that there are a few wet roads or damp roads out there. It could have caused some issues earlier, but right now the commute is moving along just fine. So take your time this morning, but get you to our map. We're not spotting a whole lot of slowdowns just yet, but a little bit of a delay there along US 90, which is always the first spot where we tend to see a little bit of that congestion build up. Quick look at travel times. No delays here if you're coming in from any of these communities. I'll keep a close eye on things throughout the morning, but overall, not too bad for a Monday morning.
And we've got some clearing skies, a couple leftover clouds here and there. We had some rain in the overnight hours. Still some of these showers and even a stray thunderstorm, especially down to the south and then up there around San Marcos. Watch around Canyon Lake. You may get some of this rain as the morning rolls on. Temperatures mid-60s on average. We are going to make it up to the mid-80s later on today. A couple of more scattered showers, thunderstorms around here today. One or two of them tomorrow. Then the trend this week is going to be for temperatures to continue to heat up. We're looking at a very hot weekend with lots of sunshine.
Okay, so we'll enjoy the mid-80s while we can.
Yep, because it's not going to last long.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for joining us today.
Have a great Monday and a good work week. We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9. Good Morning America is next.